The Grand Rapids police officer who shot and killed Daquan Johnson will not face any charges. The announcement from the Kent County Prosecutor today comes 6 weeks and 1 day since the February 18th shooting. 13 on your side's Nick Nelson is here now with Chris Becker's explanation and reaction from Johnson's family. Nick.
Juliet, Prosecutor Becker says it all started when officers got a report from a confidential informant of a man in possession of a gun. That was the first in a sequence of events leading to Johnson's fatal shooting.
I have to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt that they did not act in self-defense. And based on the facts and circumstances as I see them, I just cannot simply do that.
After an investigation by Michigan State Police, Kent County Prosecutor Chris Becker announced Thursday that Christopher Carlson, the Grand Rapids police officer who shot and killed Daquan Johnson in February, is not facing charges. At a news conference, Becker showed several videos, some not publicly shared before Thursday, that Becker says clearly shows Johnson was both reaching for and holding a gun in his right hand.
Clearly has a possession of a gun, and it drops out of his hand after this incident occurs, which once again supports what Officer Carlson said. He's got a gun. We have a gun now falling out of his hand at this point in time.
However, Johnson's family members who were gathered in the lobby of MSP Division headquarters during the news conference emphatically say they don't believe the officers were in danger.
I in my bones don't believe that my son had a gun in his hands and he was pointing at the officer.
He stepped on Daquan's right arm way before the shots were fired. You're standing on his arm and you're yelling, after you've stood on his arm, gun, gun.
Kent County Commissioner Robert S. Womack also watched Becker's statements from the lobby and shares Johnson's family's doubts.
Our community has to really dig deep right now and find out what we're going to do to have better police-community relations, because as long as they're in denial, we can have no better community relations.
Johnson says she's going to contact the Office of Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel as a next step.
I'm not mad because he's just the beginning. He doesn't have the final say-so in any of this. It doesn't stop with Chris Becker. There's levels to this. And I will continue to fight and say my son's name and be a part of this big movement.
So what's next? Attorneys Van Johnson and Ben Crump, who represent the family of Daquan Johnson, issued a statement after Becker's announcement. They call it, quote, deeply disappointing, and they go on to say they're continuing an independent investigation to ensure the family gets answers. Christopher Carlson, the officer who fired the shots, was also involved in another fatal officer-involved shooting in November of 2024. In the newsroom, Nick Nelson, 13 on your side.